Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the new Clichy card to review today. My boy put a Sentinel on his card right away. Probably would be best to give him an anchor, but we're going to be taking a look at his stats here in a bit. We're looking at a card that is 5'9", medium work rates, left-footed with a 4-star, 4-star. So medium work rates are a very interesting work rate to have for the fullback position, especially because not many fullbacks have that work rate, right? So is he gonna be aggressive pushing forward? Is he gonna be aggressive pushing back? We don't know, right? So I feel like with medium, I think on stay back while attacking, it'll be a really good balance, man, because you know, how many of your defenders have medium defensive work rates, but they still defend really nicely with the high medium, right? So if you have the right defensive stats on your card, then I assume that you're going to be an absolute monster. So my boy over here decided to give him a Sentinel chemistry style, which I don't agree with. I think you have to give him an anchor. It's either an anchor or a shadow. You either compensate for the physical being low, but your pace is higher with good defensive stats, or you give him a +5 for acceleration, +5 for sprint speed, which is fair enough, right? But then you're also improving his physical and defensive stats quite substantially, right? So it really just depends on how you view the card. I don't think the card is expensive. I think it's like 70k, but we're going to be doing this review as we're doing the review for Suarez. Some of these reviews, I consider them kind of fodder-ish, but the only reason why I do them is because why wouldn't I, as I'm doing because I always analyze every player anyway, so I might as well review him while I'm taking a look at other players on the pitch, right? So in regards to the tactics we will be using in game, I'm going into the tactics without looking at this card fully. Yeah, so pace, you need to improve. Shooting presence is not there. He can actually pass the ball really nicely. That with the 4-star weak foot's really good. 83 composure is good enough for the fullback position. His dribbling stats in the fullback position are actually going to be quite nice, considering the fact that he is a 5'9" player. I don't think he has like a big body type in game. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't. And then again, with defense and physical stats, his defense base card stats are not bad. His physical could use help in some areas here and there, but again, with the anchor chemistry style, you would substantially increase it, right? So now we could take a look at the custom tactics we're going to be using. So we're going to be using the 4-2-3-1 stuff that we normally use, but the difference, ooh, you know what, actually, let me do higher width. Depth we'll do 5 depth is fine. Well, the reason why we're going to do that is because of Clichy, you know, pushing out wide, defending, all that kind of stuff, right? You know, maybe attacking even. So even that we'll do like a 5 width on that bad, or 6 width on that 5 width on that bad boy. And we will have these fullbacks on balanced instructions. Yeah, balanced instructions. Cool. So let's get into a game. We're going to be doing a review for both Suarez and Clichy at the same time. So let's get to it. Alright boys, before we get started, because I did the recording for this earlier, but guys, listen. If you guys are playing this game, player name and indicator, player name default, everyone needs to rock that, okay? There's no point in seeing the person's gamer tag. You might as well just have the player names over your heads, you know what I'm saying? I know that it annoys some people because I'm using some players, you don't know who I'm using, so it makes sense for me to do it like this. There you go. That's what I like to see. Great tackle there with Clichy. Hold on. Because these tackles are always very questionable. Let me see. I want to see the actual tackle. I'm not going to skip this. I want him to actually show me the tackle, because there's some that are just very questionable. Like, I've seen it in the inside the 18-yard box where you do a clean tackle and they count it as a foul. Well done, Clichy. See what his dribbling is like here, actually. It's not like super responsive. I mean, it's like usable. He doesn't feel good with the left stick though. Like, you know how some players are kind of like sloppy, but they feel okay with the left stick? Like, he doesn't feel good with it. I don't know. It feels very strange. Let's go, Clichy. Little physical presence right there. His body feels so weird, man, in the game. Like, in regards to like the left stick dribbling. It's a little strange. It's definitely incredibly usable, but he feels a little strange, man. Good little interception there with Clichy. Aggressive too. So that with I think we're still under pressure on heavy touch. Pretty nice. In regards to the attacking, which I do like, in fairness. Good interception there, Gale Clichy again. Utilizes attacking space right there on balance instructions. I am noticing, guys, that he's not really attacking that much with the medium work rates. I'll pass right there. There we go with Marcelo. Nicely done to get on his strong foot. Yeah, I'm noticing, guys, that on the medium work rate so far, he's not super attacking oriented. He kind of seems very balanced. Like, you know, if you have this fullback on stay back while attacking, I fully expect him to not attack, like, literally at all. But if he does, like, he wouldn't necessarily be that bad. I am going to say this, though. I don't really like the way that he feels dribbling-wise. If he felt the way that he does feel dribbling-wise, but with a physical presence, like, let's just say, for instance, like, you move similar to Kieran Tierney's Future Stars card, right? If it was something like that, I'd be okay with it, but, I mean, it's not necessarily, like, super ideal. I don't know. It feels very strange to me, personally. I do like, however, that he can make these passes right here. You see? You get through on goal like that, you could potentially score an opportunity because your guy in the middle makes that run. Good off-the-ball move with your striker. You go back, he gets back into position, you know, that kind of jazz. Didn't really like the positioning too much there, so this is some analytical thing that you can see here in regards to off-the-ball movement, right? So in a situation like that, that's where you experiment with stay central on your striker, because if Suarez has stay central and he plays off of my Griezmann dribble really nicely, I could score that opportunity, because there was that specific run right there, if you guys were able to see, I wanted Suarez to make, but he kept going downwards. I didn't want him to go upwards. When I was dribbling with Griezmann, I needed him to respond to the middle play. And again, that doesn't make his off-the-ball movement really bad. It just means that it's kind of like a combination of testing it against your opponent's tactics and the instructions and tactics that you have with your striker, right? Okay, guys, so what we have to test out with Gale Clichy's card is obviously specifically his dribbling. So we were talking about it earlier. It doesn't, like, I know that my gameplay is not the greatest right now, right? But it just feels very strange. Like, he feels late to how I want to dribble. Like, you know, with Conte, I can feel the dribble with Conte really nicely, right? If I switch to Griezmann, same thing. Suarez, same thing. Like, I know that Clichy doesn't have, like, high dribbling stats like these guys. But even Varane, like, yeah, he has emphasis on it, but he feels like I feel like I have control over him. You know what I'm saying? Every single player, Mark TA, your best tactics yet. And then there's no responsiveness because the gameplay is terrible right now. So, guys, that could 100% influence my train of thought in regards to Gale Clichy's card, 100%, because the gameplay is the way that it is. But he still feels strange. Like, even with other players, you can kind of still feel that they feel normal in regards to movement. But Gale Clichy's movement is not necessarily the greatest. What I kind of want to test out right here is going to be movement pushing up and then losing the ball. So I have to push him up directly right here. And then I'm going to do this, all that fun stuff. Okay, so he starts to cut inside in this position right here. Okay, so he's a little bit out of position right now. So he's on the edge of the 18, starts to occupy my position with Marcelo, and he tackles the ball out of play. Can I get the ball here with Gale Clichy? Is that a possibility? If it is, that'd be perfect. Because on the corner kick, that is a counterattack if I've ever seen one. We're just going to run forward right here. Perfect. Should be good. Okay, so we're going to switch off him here. Okay, he runs. He's a runner. You can see him right there. You see him? Runner starts occupying the guy up top. I mean, the gameplay could 100% be influencing my decision-making in regards to his dribbling, 100%, but I still feel like it feels off, man. Like I said, I feel like with other players, you could still feel this level of responsiveness, right? But with medium work rates, guys, if he does push out of position at any point, even though you're most likely going to be using these fullbacks on stay back while attacking, you can fully expect him to make those runs backwards, which is really, really good. It's the best characteristic of fullback. Sometimes the high highs don't actually have it, right? So again, with good passing stats to make that opportunity right there. We're going to force a run here with him again. I want to see if this is like a consistent thing with this card. Okay, we'll lose the ball right here. There you go. Okay, not doing anything here. Okay, stays up top in the attacking position. Now, look how fast he starts to go back into position. You see that? Instant. He doesn't jog. He's instant. He's running there, right? Gets back into position. Could potentially defend this opportunity. He doesn't, but it doesn't really go to him, obviously. So that's good. It's a consistent thing with him, right? So that's a very, very good characteristic for him to have right there in the fullback position. All right, guys, so final verdict on the card. The one thing I'm going to say about this card that bothered me a lot, and I will be honest with you in regards to this, is his dribbling. There's something off about his dribbling that I just really, really don't like. Everything else about the card, though, he's incredibly usable, right? Medium work rate it's a strange work rate to have, but it definitely works, and you could definitely make it work in your team. It's not like a nuisance to have, because he's the type of fullback that if he does aggressively push forward at any point, he will come back instantly, right? So it's a really, really nice thing to have. With the anchor chemistry style, guys, you guys can clearly see that his defensive stats get improved significantly. Would I do the SBC myself, though? I mean, not really, to be honest. Like, if you guys are going to be doing it with, like, a bunch of untradables in your club and you want to get them for SBC fodder in the future because of the 89 rating and the team of the season part of the card, sure. But, I mean, he feels like kind of generic, you know, like that the way that he moves with the left stick, even if the gameplay is terrible. I mean, even Veron, I could still feel like this natural movement with him, even though he's super weird and I hate him. But with Gale Clichy's card, it doesn't even feel that great. But again, gameplay could definitely have influenced it because the gameplay wasn't great. But there was one game where I was using Suarez and the gameplay was okay, and Gale Clichy still felt a little bit odd. So for 70K, if you're going to be using it for price, I still wouldn't do it personally. Yeah, I just felt like he was really generic, dudes. You know, I just felt like he was very generic. If you want to do him for sentimental value, no, I think he's a Man City guy, right? Like you could do it for that, but I think Arsenal as well. But I don't know. I wasn't really feeling the card, right? I wasn't feeling the card. I was feeling Suarez's card more than I was feeling this card. So, yeah, man. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I'm sorry for this late one. I know that SBC, I try to put it out early for you guys so you guys can get a good idea if you want to do it or not. Don't always, base my opinions off of your decisions. It just depends. I just felt a certain way towards a card. That's pretty much it. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys for the next video. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.